Greater Media Broadcast News.
Welcome to another edition of Greater Media Broadcast News. I'm Susie Xie, bringing you this week's top headlines from Central New Jersey. Our main story this week involves an important message from Central New Jersey Police Departments. Don't believe any calls that ask you to send money. Police around the state have encountered increasing reports of phone scams, especially those that target seniors. These scam callers claim to be someone from the IRS, a police officer, or even a relative in trouble, and then ask potential victims for help. But the real purpose of these calls is to gain access to the victim's money. For example, a caller may pose as a representative from Medicare and ask for personal information, or may pretend to be from the police department and demand the victim pay a fine. Police stress that any phone call, email, or letter that asks residents to send money or give out financial information is in fact a scam. Residents are also encouraged to report any suspicious calls or activity to authorities. For a list of what you should look out for, see your Greater Media newspaper today. The Minority Caucus of Monmouth County is gearing up for the upcoming election season. The organization aims to bring minority interests to the political forefront. By using social media and grassroots networking, the caucus hopes to gather a strong minority voting bloc and endorse potential candidates for various seats around the county. Members of the caucus will also focus on general issues such as road improvements and the construction of recreational spaces. Let's go to Keith Huemiller for more details about the newly established group.
With an eye on the 2013 election season, the newly established Minority Caucus of Monmouth County is working to consolidate a voting bloc big enough to affect real change in the months and the years ahead. The organization was formed earlier this year to promote the election of minority candidates and to interview and support qualified candidates who back the minority perspective. In an article featured in several of our papers this week, Chairman Lorenzo Bill Dangler explains how the caucus is trying to recreate the grassroots, community-driven activism of the 60s, 70s, and 80s by knocking on doors and engaging as many Black and Hispanic residents as possible in the political process. Dangler also talks about some specific issues the caucus members plan to bring up when they interview local and county candidates prior to the November elections.
In other important headlines, New Jersey homeowners could see drastic increases in flood insurance rates next year as a result of changes to the National Flood Insurance Program. Many homes built in flood zones will no longer receive discounts on their flood insurance. And the impact could be felt especially hard in Monmouth County, where high-risk flood zones are expected to expand by nearly 25%. For more information about these rate increases, see your Greater Media newspaper today. The Christie administration has announced the Sandy Homebuyer Assistance Program, which offers financial incentives to eligible homebuyers in Middlesex, Monmouth, and 7 other counties in the state. The $25 million program can give applicants up to $50,000 in the form of interest-free, forgivable mortgages. For more details, see this week's edition of The Suburban. The owner of ATGI Fridays restaurants will pay the state $500,000 as a penalty for substituting premium liquor with cheaper brands. The restaurants were raided as a part of Operation Swill, and the owner will not be able to contest the charges. Locations that were raided include franchises in Old Bridge, Freehold, and Marlborough. For more details, see this week's edition of The Sentinel. The world-renowned TED conferences will be bringing ideas worth spreading to Central New Jersey this September. The event will welcome internationally recognized professors, scientists, artists, and more to share the latest research in their fields. Brookdale Community College in Lincroft will be the host of the first ever TEDx Navasink. To see a list of the world-class lineup, see your Greater Media newspaper today. And now we turn to Stella Morrison with a story about women swimming to the rescue.
The 29th annual All-Women Lifeguard Competition brought 260 women from across the Northeast to Sandy Hook for a test of endurance. The National Park Service-based Iron Woman race on July 31st had lifeguards run, swim, paddle, and row to victory. Teams from Asbury Park and Seagirt took top honors, and Lone Branch and Spring Lake teams finished in the top 5. The competition is the oldest and largest of its kind in North America. With Greater Media Newspapers, I'm Stella Morrison.
Thank you, Stella. Here's Mark Rosman with more headlines from this week's papers.
This week's edition of the Tri-Town News contains a story from Howell Township about an action that was recently taken by the Township Council. What the Township Council has done in Howell is to hire an energy consultant that will help the municipality pursue what is called energy aggregation. This is a plan by which residents and business owners are given the chance to save money on energy. A law that's been on the books in New Jersey for 10 years has only recently come into play for many municipalities. In fact, Plumstead in Ocean Township was the first municipality in the state to take advantage of energy aggregation. Now, many towns are taking a hard look on this. Howell has hired an energy consultant. Jackson Township officials have introduced ordinances that would permit them to move forward with the process, and other towns will be taking a look to see if, in fact, residents are achieving the savings on energy bills that have been promised. This is something residents need to be aware of because in energy aggregation, residents will be placed into the program, and if they're not happy with the outcome or the savings, residents themselves will have to opt out. I think this is something that bears more coverage in our newspapers and that residents should be aware of, and we will stay on top of the story.
And now we have Kathy Chang with a story about a nonprofit that awards scholarships in honor of a young man's mother.
The nonprofit Marna's Pals was created in 2012 by David Pal, a South Brunswick High School graduate. The organization helps students affected by cancer further their education through scholarships. On August 4th, they held a volleyball tournament to help them raise funds.
This organization we founded about a year and a half ago, and it is in honor of my mother, Marna, who passed away 5 years ago from pancreatic cancer. In the past year, we've given away $2,500 to students whose parents have been affected by cancer, and we hope to raise some money today to increase that amount and to start our programming on Rutgers and Rider University's campuses.
Upcoming events for the organization include a charity event on August 14th at Alex and Ani in Princeton, where 15% of sales will go towards the organization. And on November 16th, the organization will hold its first gala and silent auction in East Windsor. For further information, visit our website, gmnews.com.
Here's Gloria Stravelli with updates from Central New Jersey's art scene.
The arts are flourishing in central New Jersey, where you can find arts and cultural events around every corner, in traditional venues like theaters, galleries, and concert halls, and non-traditional spaces like coffee houses, parks, pop-up galleries, storefronts, and church halls. Look for them every week in our newspapers and on this website. In Shrewsbury, the Guild of Creative Art was founded in a 5-car garage in 1960 by a group of visionaries and has grown into the largest cooperative arts community in New Jersey with 500 members. This month, the Guild is mounting an all-media, all-member exhibit of 80 works by 58 of its artists. Just think of the convergence of creative energy there. The exhibit is in a wide range of styles: realistic, abstract, florals, life, landscapes. Every subject, every media is represented. And it will be at the gallery at 620 Broad Street, Shrewsbury, until August 28th. Over in the Atlantic Highlands, volunteers with the Atlantic Highlands Art Council were wrapping up Film One Fest, a festival devoted to super short films of 1 to 2 minutes in duration, while they were mounting an exhibit at the Arts Council Gallery on Lincoln Avenue of photography, capturing the moment, which features images by Jürgen Berghessel, Jay Hockheiser, and Gerda Liebman, who calls her images light paintings. That exhibit will be at the Arts Council Gallery through September 6th. Finally, over in Freehold Township, painter Tim Belding has an exhibit called Art Like You Love It at the Red Horse Gallery that's on the upper level of the Freehold Raceway Mall. Tim paints mostly landscapes. For instance, Sandook Lighthouse, a beautiful pastoral scene of a barn and a church in Vermont. And he brings them to life. We're told 5 of his paintings have sold already. That exhibit is co-sponsored by the Arc of Monmouth and VSA Arts of New Jersey. And it will be at the Red Horse Gallery through September 11th. Get out and see, hear, touch, and participate in the arts. They will add zest to your life.
And here's this week's sports segment with Tim Morris.
This week we are following the Freehold Township Little League's Junior League All-Star team as it competes in the Eastern Regional that the league is hosting for the 9th time. Playing on their home field as the champions of the host Little League of District 19, Freehold Township's juniors joined a field of 9 state champions from Maine to Maryland in the regional tournament. The Township All-Stars proved they belong in such select company, going 2-2 and playing some outstanding baseball. They were 1 win away from making it to the Final Four. Manager Mike Alexander said his players were the greatest bunch of kids he's ever coached. They gave me everything they have every day, he noted. He praised them for never missing a practice, even when the temperatures soared near 100 degrees. The tournament, which began August the 3rd, runs through August the 8th. The winner will advance to the Junior League World Series later this month. This is Tim Morris for Greater Media Newspapers.
Angela Marketing offers a variety of different services, including email marketing. Email marketing is a great way to reach potential customers outside of your database of current customers. We can send out an email blast to specific zip codes and break it down by sex. Get new customers with special offers just for them. Call 732-833-5100 for details.
For more in-depth coverage and additional stories, pick up your local Greater Media newspaper today. This is Susie Shea. Thanks for tuning in.